Hey y'all, welcome back to episode 17 of More Context the Podcast. So today is Friday, February. What? Wait, what? Okay. See, yo, that is just the mood for this episode, yo. Like my brain is like frazzled. I'm so out of it today. I'm just not feeling it at all. So clearly my mind is putting me in February before we can finish getting out of January. Let's not rush it. Today is Friday, January 29th, of just a few days before February, but it's not February yet. And like to go right back into what I was just saying, the mood for this episode, I'm really like, I'm not feeling it today. Like last night I just could not go to sleep. So I told you that I mainly sleep on the loft because I just get better sleep there. But some days, I'll be missing sleeping beside Corey, so like I'll go sleep in the bed or whatever. Sometimes when I do that, I come back upstairs just because I just can't get comfortable or whatever. So but I typically come upstairs like in the middle of the night. Sometimes I sleep throughout the night and like I wake up, I'm able to wake up in the bed or whatever, but most times I do still end up on the loft. And last night was one of those nights solely because I just could not go to sleep. I told you before that like I was already a light sleeper pre-pregnancy, and now I'm even more of a light sleeper. So that's how pregnancy insomnia shows up for me. I typically don't have a hard time falling asleep, but last night I could not move past REM 1, yo. Like I just was like laying there and I'm like pretty much just drifting in and out, but like I never really got any good hardcore sleep. So I was like, well, maybe, and I was sleeping in the bed. Corey wasn't making no noise. He wasn't moving or anything. So like, it wasn't him that was waking me up or anything. Right. So finally I was like, mind you, I tossed and turned like just back and forth because, I also keep my body pillow upstairs because, we got plenty of pillows on the bed, and like the whole point of me sleeping in the bed be to cuddle with Corey, so I be feeling like the body pillow kind of get in the way. So I'm taking the pillow and I'm just like tossing and turning. Like I can almost count the many of times that I've tossed and turned last night. So finally I was like, let me go get on the loft and see if I can fall asleep. If I can finally get to sleep or whatever. So I used the bathroom. I looked at the time thinking that it was like probably like 2 something. I don't know why, because we got in the bed like probably like 11 something or whatever. So I just kind of tossed and turned. I got out the bed. I went to the bathroom and then I came upstairs, looked at the clock. My nigga, it was 4:07. I was like, damn. I've been tossing and turning for that long. So even when I came up to the loft, like I was definitely more comfortable, just like I guess with the firmness of the couch, and then the couch being kind of smaller, it makes you feel like more supported. And then with the body pillow, you feel that extra like cushion support. So it's like it just feel like you like laying in between 2 perfect walls, almost kind of when I'm on the couch or whatever. So I was like, I was laying on the couch and I was like, all right, I feel a little bit more comfortable, but I knew I was not falling asleep. So I finally fell asleep, I think about like 6, and put the covers over my head because the sun get real disrespectful when it's loft in the morning, when it's rising or whatever. So I appreciate it, but I don't really respect it when I be like just getting to sleep or whatever. So I woke I finally fell asleep around 6, put the blanket over my head because I could feel the sun starting to come up, and then I woke up like 8. It was probably like 8:09 actually. And then that was just that. And then another thing is like, I feel like the house is like really, really, really dry, especially at night, to the point where like when I wake up, I just feel very dry in my nose and like my throat or whatever. And I don't know if it's just this year, which the weather doesn't seem too different than, you know, previous winters or whatever. And it hasn't really even been that cold. And the heat don't go up past like 73, 74. So it's not like it's like super hot, because it don't even be hot in here. It be actually kind of chilly or whatever. So and I have like one humidifier for the plants but I just did get another humidifier, but that didn't really help. I'm gonna try to reposition it tonight to see if that helps me out. But my sleep was just straight trash last night, and it reflected in my mood today, like all day. It's just not like, I'm not really shaking it, which is crazy because yesterday I had like such a high. Like yesterday I felt so good. I was in such a good mood yesterday. And largely in part due to the fact that I did speak to that new midwife. Remember I told y'all that I had a consultation with her this Thursday. So I'm definitely going to tell you about that. But I was just like in a really good mood yesterday, last night, or after I got off the call with her. It probably was like 1:30. And then that mood pretty much took me throughout the day. And then up until like I started to get hungry, and I had no idea what I wanted to eat. And I was like, I'm gonna just do yoga, because I had yoga at 7 with Rachel, and I was like, I'm gonna just do yoga and it'll come to me what I want to eat. I was like, I'm not gonna force it and just make anything. Like, it'll come to me, right? And it did. It came to me. I was like, I want some pasta salad. Mind you, I've never made pasta salad before in my life. Like, obviously you can look at pasta salad and pretty much see how to make it, but I've never made it before. So, and I had a taste for it. Once it came to mind, I really had a taste for it. But I had a taste for it like weeks and weeks of like, it'd be like coming and going or whatever. But I just never acted on it because I never really had all of the ingredients. So when I got out of yoga, I was like, first of all, yoga was perfect. Thursday nights is restorative yoga. So it's not super active. It's like more involved with like stretching and stuff like that. So that made me feel really good, because that low key be like a little massage for the kid. So I was like, I know I got enough vegetables in there that make sense to put in a pasta salad. So I made this bomb ass pasta salad last night. That shit was scrumdiddly yumptious. It was like the fusilli noodles. I know I'm butchering that. The little spiral noodles. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I had some baby bella mushrooms. I don't really be fucking with shiitake mushrooms like that. But I had some baby bella mushrooms. So so this is all the mushrooms. All of the vegetables that I sauteed. I sauteed some baby bella mushrooms. I cut 2 ears of corn off the cob. So I had some fresh corn. Put that in the pan. Some spinach. Obviously that was last, because I didn't want it too overcooked. What else? I had some raw red onions or purple onions, however you wanna address them, but I didn't saute them. I kept them raw, and that was a good call. I also had some black olives from Trader Joe's that I had cut up or whatever. They was whole olives, and I sliced them, because details matter. What else? Some broccoli. I cut up some broccoli florets and put that in there. Sauteed some broccoli. And it was something. I cut up some grape tomatoes, threw that in there. Did not saute those. And one other thing. Whatever. Anyway, I mixed it up with some Italian dressing and a little bit of olive oil. Seasoned with some basil, some pepper, and some salt or whatever. So, and a little bit of, did I say olive oil? Whatever. So I tossed it up. I'm best believe I'm going to eat that as soon as I hit stop on this recording here device. I'm about to go eat that. And I probably made like three or four helpings of it, and I can't wait. Excuse me. So, I was in a good mood last night, and then it just sucks that this morning I was like, why are we here right now? Well, not why are we here, but like, why are we in this mood right now, whatever. So I had like all these things that I wanted to do, and I was like, I'm gonna do it because I still feel rather productive or whatever, but I'm not gonna give myself a time limit. Like, I'm just gonna do it as it comes to me or whatever. And so but I lounged and I just let myself just be and not like force myself to like be extra or whatever. Excuse me. I had to take a little sip of my bev. But oh my god, mind you, this bev is very delicious. I'm drinking so I love kiwi. If I didn't mention that before, if you didn't catch on to that in previous episodes, I love kiwi. I typically eat a whole kiwi pretty much a day. And I slice them into slices of 4 and sometimes 8 if I'm like eating it with my breakfast. But if I just want to eat it, I slice it into slices of 4 or whatever. But I had this drink from Starbucks last week. Oh, I didn't think I told y'all this. I had this drink from Starbucks last week, a kiwi star fruit refresher, because I had seen it on my homegirl page. She had posted, and I haven't been to Starbucks in about a year. Ever since, you know, during the civil unrest, Starbucks wanted to act like they wasn't really fucking with black people. So I was like, okay, Starbucks, y'all want to be cute? Like, I don't really drink coffee like that. I only drink coffee when I got a taste for it. The refreshers be good as shit, but I was like, we in the house, like, I'm sure I can like not go to Starbucks, and I didn't all year, all 2020 until this year when my homegirl posted that goddamn kiwi refresher. I was like, now I gotta go do it. Now I gotta do it. That don't mean I forgive you, Starbucks, but like, I just had to, you know, give it a whirl, whatever. And it was actually really good. It really did taste like a kiwi, like a candy apple situation or whatever. And so anyway, I say that to say that I told myself I was gonna start like recreating something like that without the caffeine, because I don't need the caffeine at all. And so it's funny because I always got a story within a story, right? Clearly. So one time I went to Mexico when I went to Tulum last June. I was eating at this vegan restaurant all week while I was there, and they had these fruit drinks on the menu, which is literally them pureeing the fruit and then adding water, and they call it like strawberry water or watermelon water or papaya water or whatever fruit that you order plus water is like, you know, the drink or whatever. So I was like, when I was in Mexico, I was like, why didn't I ever think to do that? So I told myself that I was gonna start making like fruit water when I got home. That was in last June, and that's why I mentioned. So I always make fruit water like all the time. So I typically only make strawberry water because that just tastes the best. And I never thought to make kiwi water, right? So, and when I make strawberry water, it's literally just cut up strawberries. And I do half coconut water because it adds a little bit of sweetness to it. And then I do half like regular water or whatever. And so I was like, I never really thought to make kiwi water, and I eat kiwi every day and always have kiwis in the house, right? So when I came from Starbucks, I looked up what was in the actual drink, and basically I felt like what was most important besides like freeze-dried kiwi and kiwi like juice or something like that, it was the apple. It was like white grape juice that was like making it, white apple juice that was making it taste like a candy apple. So I was like, oh, I'm about to just make what I normally make with the strawberry water, but instead of strawberries, obviously use kiwi, and then put a little bit of apple juice in it. So like a fourth. No, I'm not about to do these. Okay, I'm about to tell you. I'll do like half a cup of fruit, half a cup of regular water, and then this time instead of doing half of coconut water, I did a fourth coconut water and a fourth apple juice. chef's kiss, bro. So that's actually what I'm drinking right now, is my kiwi water. And then it's funny because being pregnant, my first doctor's appointment, she told me that I needed to try to drink 5 gallons of water a day. No, where did I even get that number from? I'm lying. 3 liters. No. 3 gallons. 3 gallons of water a day. And I was like, that's a 2.5 liters of soda, or like some shit like that. Whatever it was, I was like, yeah, 3 gallons. I was like, I don't know how the hell I'm supposed to drink 3 gallons of water every day, but I'm a damn sure try. But I Googled what else I can drink that is considered water. And the fruit water definitely counts. Coconut water absolutely counts. And tea absolutely counts as water intake. I don't really like sweeten my tea like a whole lot, and lemon water obviously counts, but and then I don't count it if like, I don't ever actually have iced tea outside of the house, but I would make my own, hot tea, and I also make my own iced tea so that I have like different variations of like water, quote unquote, to drink, to count against my water intake or whatever. But I say all that to say I have my kiwi water here with me, and it's very delicious. But anyway, so yeah, yesterday I had the conversation with the new midwife, the potential new midwife or whatever, and it was a video chat call. And I wasn't nervous. I was more excited than everything because I had my questions typed up. I had 10 questions. I had them typed up, and I was ready. Like, I was like, because it's an energy thing. It's like I was just excited to like meet somebody new who could potentially be delivering my baby, right? So so the video call was like 15 minutes late. She was on the other call with like another client or whatever. So I was like, okay, no problem. Well, okay, so it was like 21 minutes late actually, because she joined the call at 12:51. And I was like, I hope this consultation not about to be over in 9 minutes, but I figured since she had went over for the other one, that she planned on going over for mine as well, whatever, in which she did, because this conversation lasted for 46, 47 minutes or whatever. So needless to say, it was a really good conversation. So, we got on the phone and she introduced herself to me, and vice versa. And I kind of told her about, she asked me, how far along I was, if I already had somebody. And then I told her about just the energy that I had with the previous midwife. And long story short, it didn't really matter because she didn't do home births anyway, and I knew that I wanted a home birth or whatever. So then we just get to talking about like her experience, and it wasn't even like an interview. It legitimately was a regular conversation. Everything was like conversationally, and not like, okay, next question, check. Okay, next question. And even if it was like, what other questions do you have for me? Not like, what's your next question? You know what I mean? Like, it definitely was not like an interview. And trust me, at my job, I conduct plenty of interviews. I sit in on the interview panel. I know you didn't think I was that important, but I am. So I've sat through plenty of interviews to know what an interview feels like and what a conversation feels like. And that was definitely a conversation or whatever. But she was just really, really, really cool. And one thing, she said like a lot of things, but beyond the fact that she answered my question, she answered all of my questions. I really connected with her energy, and vice versa. It was a lot of things that she said that I really like appreciated and I really fucked with. So like, she was like, from now until basically when it's time to have the baby, excuse me, I told you the air is like so dry in here. I should have turned on that humidifier now, but I'm gonna turn it off as soon as I finish this AirPod. As soon as I finish this pod, I'm gonna turn on that humidifier and I'm gonna go get my pasta salad. So she was like, from now until you have the baby, like, just call me by my first name or whatever. Don't call me Dr. Parker or whatever. Her name is Dr. Parker. So she was like, oh, this is the reason why I chose her. Mind you, I didn't and I don't have any other consultations lined up. Like, she was the only person that I found that I really liked enough to even want to do a consultation with. So that was saying a lot. I was pretty much like hoping it would work out, because I was back to the drawing board for real, whatever. So she was like, so the reason why I chose her was because she's a, certified midwife, but she's a certified nursing midwife, I think, but she's also a doctor, a naturopathic doctor, and she studied Chinese medicine or whatever. So that really, really, really spoke to me. I was like, I pretty much already knew she was the one on some bachelor shit. I pretty much already knew she was the one just based on those credentials right there. I was like, she is actually a doctor, but she's not like, a hospital doctor that's like overly into modern medicine or whatever. Like, I'm sure this is my thought process going into it. Like, I'm sure she believes in modern medicine, and she uses it if and when she has to, but she also knows the importance of, natural medicine and naturalism, and just like, what I be fucking with or whatever, right? So I was right in all of those assumptions or whatever. And so she was like, from now until it's time to have the baby, she was like, you can just address me by my first name. She was like, because I want you to feel like I am your sister. I am somebody that's here to guide you through, delivering, having a healthy delivery or whatever. And she was like, I'm not your doctor or your midwife until it's time to have that baby. I was like, yes, speak my fucking language, okay? That was like so reassuring, because that's legitimately what I wanted. I wanted somebody to listen to me and like, to guide me, to advise me, but also to understand, my wants, needs, and desires or whatever. And it was just like, it was love at first sight. So she said, what's crazy is she was like, she's booked up for June. Once I told her my due date, she was like, she was booked up for June. But she felt so good about me, and she really was like connected with my energy and shit, that because she got 2 other births in June or whatever, and they're kind of around my due date, but not really. She told me one is a second time mom with her, and the other one is a third time mom with her. And the second time mom, she will more than likely come before me, and then the third time mom, she normally be having her baby late. Like, she do, I think, a few days after me, but she normally go past 40 weeks or something like that. So and then one of them, the same city that I live in, she doesn't live too far. So if she needed to go back and forth, between me and the other lady, the other mother or whatever, I don't want to just call her a lady, but the other, mother to be or whatever, that she wouldn't have a problem, like, just kind of being at the same place and at 2 different places at the same time, basically. So she was like, my spirit feels good about taking you on, but if you're nervous and you feel like you don't know about it or whatever, she was like, by all means you can. She was like, and even if I'm not available, I think she said 4 students, 3 of them have 2 or 3 of them are like, have done like tons of births, and like the other 2 are like brand new, and she normally has either 1 or 2 students with her, depending on how she feels. She said basically she based it off of, how she feels at the time of birth, like if she feel like she gonna need 1 student or 2 students or whatever. And then of course, depending on how I feel, like if I want privacy or if I don't mind or whatever, which I don't mind. She can have, well, I don't want all 4 of her students, but she can have 2. I ain't tripping. Do what moves you. It's still more private than the hospital, so I don't care. But yeah, she just was like answering the questions. Like, so she also has 2 children of her own, which she also gave birth to. One is 3 and the other one is like 21 months, she said. And she was like, and they actually came to the computer at the end of the call, and they were fucking gorgeous, okay? But they was like two beautiful, like, redheaded babies. If you didn't know already, like, obviously, but she's black or whatever. So but yeah, I just felt like really good about her. And then so the questions, and then I definitely asked like some questions that was like weighing on my mind. I asked her about if, you know, if I wanted my son to be circumcised, how would that happen? Because I know that normally happens before you take your baby home out the hospital, if you want that or whatever. But because it's a home birth, I'm like, what about circumcision? So, because I did my research, and it's like you take them to a doctor or whatever, but a lot of doctors don't be willing to like do it because you didn't give birth in the hospital and all that or whatever. So I was like, I went into it thinking that I was gonna have to just like find all these people to accommodate this home birth when she has a whole team. Like, basically I don't have to do my research anymore, because when I asked her about the circumcision, she was like, oh, I have a doctor for that, he's really good, he circumcised my son. Then I asked her about placenta encapsulation. I think I'm considering that because I don't want to just get rid of my placenta. And so I've done a little bit of research on encapsulation. So I asked her about that, and she was like, a couple of her students do it. So I don't have to worry about doing any more research in regards to like who will do it. I know I can do it myself, and my homegirl Shakira sent me this nasty ass video. Shakira, you fucked me up with that. Please don't send me anything else that's nasty, even though you could literally barely see the placenta, but I just don't like seeing stuff like that. The inside of a body like freaks me the fuck out. So but it was basically a video of this couple encapsulating the placenta themselves, and you gotta like boil it or some shit like that, and I just can't do it, bruh. So but you know, if somebody else do it and then they bring it back to me in the form of like capsules, then you know it won't be like a difficult process to think about. So but anyway, yeah, she was like, she got students, she had like a couple of her students does the encapsulation or whatever. I asked her about the birth certificate. She answered my questions about that. What else? Yeah, I asked her a whole bunch of stuff. A list of 10 worth of questions were asked, and yeah, so I felt really good. So I'm moving forward with her. She chose to move forward with me because obviously it's a two-way process. And she was like, she's definitely had a couple of women that was due in June, and she's, you know, turned them down, but she felt really good about me, which I felt really good about, and I also felt really good about her. So, you know, that had me on a, and honestly, talking about it all over again now, it's like, it's putting me on another high. Like, just talking to y'all, y'all know y'all like my little therapist. Like, this is my therapy sometimes, when you just gotta like just talk for no reason, because this forces me to talk. Otherwise I would not have said shit all day. Like, I put on makeup to make myself, you know, when you look good, you feel good. So I put on makeup to like even my mood. I listen to, so I have 2.5 kind of go-to albums. 2 are definite, and then if I need a third album to listen to because I'm just not there yet mood-wise, then I'll rotate the third or whatever. But the top 2 albums that I always listen to when I'm in just like a weird mood, these 2 albums are the albums that I can listen to with any mood. But if I'm listening to these albums like back to back, then you know something is up with me. Either I'm like extremely happy and I'm in a really good mood, or I'm in like a little funk, like I'm a little groggy or something like that. And most of the times it's the second half. The only time so when I listen to these 2 albums when I'm in a good mood, it normally stems from like me listening to a playlist on shuffle, and then I'll hear a song from the album, and then I'll just shift to that album and elevate the mood that way. but I normally don't just directly turn it on. Anyway, the albums are Baduizm. If you didn't know that, like, I'm a big Badu fan, but Baduizm for me is like the one that I go to, and then I'll go to Travis Scott Astro World, and I listen to both of them front to back, and I sing all of the words at levels that feel good to me. Sometimes I might not sing, most times I do, and so I was listening to those two albums, and fortunately I did my hair. I finished my hair yesterday, so that was nice that I didn't have to wake up in an ugly mood and then look at my hair not done and then just be ugly. So I was like, I mean, my hair done, I'm about to just put on makeup, and I made me breakfast. I made 2 fried eggs and 2 hash browns from Trader Joe's that I put in the air fryer and a cinnamon raisin bagel and some tea, some green tea with a little bit of honey and lemon. And then I just kind of chilled out, and I played my albums, got in the shower, put my makeup on, and just been kind of moseying around. That's been my day all day, and it's 4:28 right now. So yeah, talk. This is forcing me to talk, because otherwise I would not have talked all day. And I'm gonna go back to not talking, because I really just don't. I don't feel like it for real. I'm just not. I mean, like, this feels good or whatever, but I'm still, like, when this is over, I'm gonna go back to, like, mellow. Everybody needs a neutral day, okay? I'm not gonna say I'm in a bad mood, but I'm in a neutral wavering mood. So, like, normally it's like you neutral, but then you go up, then you go back to neutral, then you go up, then you go back to neutral or whatever. That's typically what kind of day I be having. But today is one of those days where I'm neutral, but then I go down a little, but I'm neutral, but then I go down a little, but then I'm neutral, and then I go down. You know what I mean? I know that makes sense. I know, especially if you're watching this and you saw my little hand movements or whatever, I know that makes sense. So, so I'm in a neutral negative mood. No, negative is not the word that I'm gonna use. Yeah. Anyway, Okay, so lastly, before I go, there was one thing that I wanted to bring up. The No Context Aquarius season collection will be available February 5th at 2:12 p.m. I've started putting some stuff on Instagram for you to get a feel of what is dropping, but I said it before. I believe I said it before in here, but I believe it was the last episode, but I'll say it again. It is there are 2 women's sweatsuits, one in gray, the other one in like a chocolate brown. There is a army green long sleeve dress. There is a gray a cream sweatsuit. I'm gonna say like toffee. It's like toffee sweatsuit hoodie for men, or unisex. It's men's, but it's unisex. I have to say that because I wear men's. And then there is a charcoal sweatsuit in unisex that is not a hoodie, it's a crew neck. And then there's a lounge set, a women's lounge set. So I think that's about 8 pieces Oh, I'm not even done. There's your beloved 5-piece yoga set. And then there's also a 3-piece yoga set, which is a bra, a jacket, and leggings or whatever. And that is probably my favorite because it's so cute even with my bump. So all of the pieces are named after Aquarius season, obviously, because we are in the season of Aquarius. And hello. And my birthday is February 12th. However, I don't want to deal with the stress of releasing anything on my birthday because I want to be able to release it on Friday, and then start shipping orders out Saturday and Monday, and like the latest you'll get your order type time is Wednesday. So, but I'm releasing it at 2:12 p.m. because obviously I was born on 2:12. And then each piece is named after a characteristic of, I would say an Aquarius, and if you can relate to it, then cool. But I don't like to generalize people, because I don't like to be generalized myself. So I won't say each piece is named after a personality trait of an Aquarius. I'll just say of me being an Aquarius. These pieces reflect certain aspects of my personality. So, I like, sometimes I like to get a little deep. And then there will be merch available as well. Branded merch or whatever, but the branded merch again will not be from me. That will be from a third party source. So you kind of will get those when you get them, based on when because it's made to order. So based on when it's made, and then it ships out, and it normally ships out with USPS. My stuff will also ship out via USPS, but so if it's delayed, then obviously that's beyond my control. But just know that I have every intention on getting things out of the door between Saturday, Monday, and Tuesday. So that will be next Friday, again at 2:12 p.m. If you are not already signed up for the newsletter. No spammy vibes. I probably didn't. The last time I sent out a letter, before last Friday, was, I don't know, probably August, July. I don't know. Basically, I only send out newsletters if I feel like I got some shit to tell y'all in writing, like when something is happening. Normally it's like something around a collection or something like that. But yeah, so I'm gonna send out another newsletter probably, I don't know, Sunday, to like add more pictures and kind of remind you again. And then I'll probably send you another newsletter the day of to remind you again. And then I'll probably slip like a little coupon in the newsletter, so I know, you came from the newsletter. But yeah, so that, again, that's next Friday. No Context Aquarius season collection. So if you aren't familiar with me doing the collections or whatever, it started from last year, right when we were in the Ponderosa. When the Ponderosa started, so prior to the Ponderosa, I was like, so when the Ponderosa started, basically I decided to just pull together a collection of loungewear, because I have always had an affinity for loungewear. Like, I was working from home at least one to 2 days a week prior to the Ponderosa, so I pretty much already knew like the type of shit that I like to wear in the house when I work, and just being in it all day or whatever. So I was like, I'm gonna pull together some shit that I feel like everybody would appreciate being in all day, with us being in the house or whatever. So that's pretty much where the idea came from. And so it released, the first one released June 19th, and I had to do it in 2 phases because I didn't have everything, because we was in the core of the Ponderosa and shipping was just like not great. So I had to release it in 2 phases, and that was the reason why I had to do 2 phases, mind you, because really the intention was for it to just be released and then that was it, like no restock or whatever. So I did a restock of things that were already here. I did a restock of things that actually had came on time for the June 19th release, when stuff was to go back out in July, because that was when I got the rest of the stuff, when I got when I did the second phase. So I did a small restock of like the people's favorites to go along with the rest of the order that had come through the first time or whatever. This time around, I have everything I need, which is why I waited so long. Well, not waited so long, but this was just when it felt right to do it. This time around, I definitely wanted to make sure I had everything that I need so that I did not have to go through another phase. It's just this and that's it. So no restock, no none of that. Like, I told myself that this might be like the last collection because I really just wanted to do 2 last year, and I said I was going to do 2, so this is the second one. But I mean, I feel like we can see how this goes after this time around, and when we move, once I have like bigger, a bigger space, and if I feel that energy again, then I will probably do it again. But we'll see how this one goes, and then how I feel, after I have the baby, because I'm damn sure not doing another one before the baby comes. But yeah, so again, you can subscribe to the newsletter to stay up to date about that on my website, briowe.com. You can also subscribe to, while I'm plugging myself, I might as well just get the ball rolling. You can also subscribe to my YouTube. My YouTube handle is Briowe. You can look for me on there and subscribe and watch a couple videos and shit, especially if you are a visual person and you like to see the podcast, like you like to see me talking to the camera, and not just listening. First of all, I really appreciate y'all saying I just sound like your homegirl talking to you, like we just in a room having a conversation, because that was what I was going with this whole time. Like I didn't want you to get any other kind of energy except for that one. So thank you for saying that. Sincerely, like for real, thank you for saying that, because we homies. Like, what's up? what's good? You can follow me on Instagram at Briowe, Briowe. And yeah, one last thing. You know what, I feel like I'm gonna go ahead and say this now, because now it feels like a good time while I'm plugging myself. Fuck it, why not? You know how you be getting that little cast when you be having on chapstick and lipstick and shit. Anyway, so I said it before. I was really grateful at the reaction, at everybody's just reaction to me. I don't want to say revealing my pregnancy, but when people found out about the pregnancy, I appreciate everyone's kind words and responses, and I appreciate everybody, those of you who insist on getting me a gift. I really appreciate that. I've just decided that I'm not going to change how I feel just because a whole bunch of people want to get me stuff. I said it before that I don't actually want a whole bunch of stuff, especially not in the beginning, and I don't want to have to feel that pressure of like just putting a whole bunch of shit on a list just for the fact of like me receiving gifts. I don't want to move with that kind of energy. So I'm gonna be honest, I would really love to accept gift cards of any form of fashion, like, or Cash App or whatever. If you really want to, if you really feel it in your heart and in your spirit to give me a gift, I would like to not receive any tangible gifts, any gift baskets or anything like that. But I would wholeheartedly appreciate gift cards from Amazon, Visa, or whatever, because we are in a time where we are moving and having a baby, and it's not just like that baby will be taken care of. Plus, I just feel like that baby just doesn't need a lot of things. Like, he just doesn't need a lot of things. And the things that I want to get, like, for example, the stroller that I've looked at so far, that shit is expensive. That shit is $500. And that's the type of shit that's going to be on my list. And I don't want nobody to feel responsible or feel obligated or be rolling their eyes at me because that's what the fuck I want. Okay? So if you really feel it in your, because I'm literally only saying this is not me calling out to you for a gift, for gift cards. This is me telling you that if you insist, because I still have people asking me for a P.O. box, for my address, for the registry, like, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll do like a virtual, what do you call it? Baby shower. I never wanted a baby shower. I don't virtual, in person, third person, in AR, in VR, in 3D. I just don't want a baby shower, okay? So if you continue to insist, by all means, I am 100% open to accepting a gift card. You can help me fund the things that I want to get for him, because like I said, we're getting the bare minimum right now until he comes and we decide, like, okay, maybe I do need a bottle warmer. Okay, maybe I do need a wet wipe warmer, or like a bottle sanitizer or some shit like that. But I'm just not getting that stuff right now. Not before he comes and I realize, like, okay, I feel like this would make my life more easier. But for right now, I'm just not trying to have all that stuff and clutter. So again, one last time, if you feel moved to send me a gift card of any sorts, Amazon, Target, Home Depot, Wayfair, all of them that surround a new baby and a new house, I'll take it. Other than that, I appreciate the gesture, but I'm good. And with that being said, I appreciate you for pulling up on me. I thank you for listening. I fuck with you for fucking with me. And until next time, I holla.